Facebook is acting up as always. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our weekly live talk at RACE. My name is Jacob Hauser, co-founder of RACE. With me today, a very special guest, Rachel Paley, a curator of language coaching. Rachel, I can talk about you forever. I'm not going to do that. Not today. We might leave this for another episode. Before I give you the mic, Rachel, I do hope Carla, our beloved podcaster, all the best. Carla was supposed to be with us today, but unfortunately she can't join us today. So Carla, get there soon. So welcome. A very warm welcome, Rachel Pelling. Really happy to have you here with us.
Jacob, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you to Beatrix and all of you at RACE. That's great. Fantastic to be here. I'm very excited to talk about coaching and how coaching has such an incredible impact in many areas of life nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Rachel, before we go any further, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, well, I'm British by origin, but I'm a European at heart. Definitely had a very interesting life, very colourful life. I think that everything that I've done through my life has got me to where I am today. And it's now about 10 years since I sat down and really created and brought out the concept of neurolanguage coaching. And that now is developing so much, and it really is that combination of coaching and neuroscience into learning. And now it's going to be spilling into a new sort of program, which is called the NeuroHeart Coaching Program. And again, it's about bringing coaching into all spheres of education.
Yeah, absolutely. I know from, well, knowing you, and I've seen video when you finally got NeuroHeart Education Foundation. Could you please tell us a little bit more about NeuroHeart Education Foundation?
Yes, and this was one of my burning desires and visions right back from 2008. And to actually be able to get to that point last December, my burning desire. Oh, we've got a time lag on the live stream. I can hear myself. So last December, I was able to constitute the foundation. And in Spain, it's a Spanish foundation. We were at the notary office signing the constitutional document. That was Gary Holton, me, and also the company is also part of this foundation. And definitely it's that heartfelt desire to bring teacher training with a difference to the world, plus homeschooling to the world, and plus how we can support educators in many different ways. And I know that one of my publishers is also looking at seeing how they can support with old books that they're not using. It would be amazing if we can get Express Publishing to help, and we can get books to different areas of the earth where children need it and teachers need them. I mean, what are we able to really achieve in this foundation? I don't know. I hope that we're going to be limitless.
Oh yeah, hopefully. Well, you seem to be always, I mean, this is really amazing, Rachel, and you seem to be always bringing in the heart. I mean, the
Mm.
brain on is something, something spectacular, but it always seem to be bringing the heart element. What does
Yeah.
that mean to you, the heart element?
You know, we are holistic human beings, and I think there's been such a great push with science, with the analytical, logical, driven perspective. And I think that many people forget that neuro actually refers to neuron, which is a nerve cell. And we have nerve cells all over. We definitely have a huge quantity of neurons in the gut. And we also have neurons in the heart. So for me, it's about being the holistic human, the whole picture. And we're now starting to understand that brain-heart coherence is very important. And there's some new research coming out with my great friend Thomas Feiner, who often speaks at our conferences, where they're really seeing with event-related potentials that there is a correlation, there is a correspondence, and definitely we need to now start to learn much more about the heart and the dialogue that heart and brain have. And this is something that I think intuitively we know. And we have Heart Math Institute as well, driving in the background with their research. And over the next 10 years, I'm going to discover things about ourselves that are going to help us to move forwards into the world of today.
Yeah, absolutely. And funny, interesting, this notion about the communication between the heart and the brain. And I remember from one of your courses where we were introduced to the different channels that are going between, different communication channels between actually the heart and the brain. Really interesting. And wherever you go, look for the heart.
Well, that's something that actually was a trend that I started a couple of years ago now, and it's phenomenal how many people send me hearts that they see. And really, I'm so grateful to everybody for sending me hearts. You know, wherever you are, look for the heart, and they appear. They keep appearing. You know, it's phenomenal where they keep appearing. So thank you.
It is phenomenal.
When you were talking about the channels, I think what you mean is when we were talking about the vagus nerve and how the vagus nerve is triggered and connects with all the major organs of the body. And the vagus nerve follows up networks and really is that emotional connector that we have, that we're also understanding much more about as we do the research and we come into it. And this was one of the pioneers with polyvagal theory. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's Carla saying amazing mission. Thank you, Carla. Yeah. Hopefully you're feeling better, Carla, and hopefully to have you with us back soon. Rachel, so back to our topic, the impact of coaching. And then we're going to move from there to neuroscience. But the impact of coaching, when you say the impact of coaching, where do you see the impact of coaching taking us?
Well, I think first thing we need to distinguish that coaching is a trendy word, and yes, anybody call themselves a coach. We have the sports profession where we have a different type of coach. very directive, empowering people, pushing people beyond their limits. Mr. Lee Campbell, one of our most famous sports coaches in the world, and that very directive approach. So that's one type of coach. Then we have, I would say, the academic definition of coaching, where the theoretical benefits of tapping into coaching as that sort of vehicle of delivery. And then you have I would say the professional business life coaching, mainly brought into the world from the International Coach Federation, from other federations, associations worldwide. So there are different understandings of what coaching is. Mm-hmm. When you come into professional coaching, definitely there needs to be a very strong training in the background, and training to re-educate ourselves into how we communicate and the impact of the way that we communicate on people. At the moment, I'm extremely fascinated with the neuroscience of words, the neuroscience of coaching, and the impact that coaching has on learners, people who want to achieve things in their life. As a coach, it's about developing key skills like active listening, powerful questions, coaching presence, embodying a coaching mindset, and really coming into those competencies of being a coach, which are set out by the International Coach Federation. It's not easy to be a coach. So many people, Jacob, as you know, and they think that coaching is easy. But in fact, when you start to exercise all of the different changes to the patterns of communication and the way that we interact, it's not easy at all. And it takes a little bit of time to get used to. I know there's one person out there who keeps saying that in 3 days, you're never going to be a coach. I totally agree. Do my courses, they start from a certain time and it takes 36 hours, which goes over weeks.
Yeah.
But if you do it in the right way, if you train in the right way, if you're practicing continuously in the background, it's like learning to drive a car.
Yeah.
What's the reason that some people learn to drive very quickly and some people not? It's that how many times they do it. The more you do something, the more ingrained it becomes, the more of a habit, the more automatic it becomes. The more automatic we get the coaching process into the brain, the more we can focus our attention on the learner.
Yeah.
So, yes, the impact is huge when we come into coaching skills that are absolutely the professional skills to bring out the best from our coachee, to get them empowered, to take ownership, to really get them soundboarding with us, learning with us, but learning from a stance where we're both equal, we're interacting. I never want my learner to feel bad. I never want my learner to feel that I'm the teacher preaching or talking down. I always want my learner to feel comfortable, curious, positive, and really receptive to the learning.
Absolutely. And you touched upon neuroscience now, Rachel, and you are, I mean, let's face it, you've got now, is it 2 certificates on neuroscience?
Well, I have done a master in applied neuroscience and also a master in neuropsychology, Neuro Education.
So, and can we call you a neuroscientist now, eventually, please?
Well, it's interesting because, I'm not a scientist. You wouldn't say that I'm somebody who is in a hospital and I'm diagnosing and working as a neuroscientist, but I'm very conscious of the principles of neuroscience, the principles of neuropsychology. And for me, it's fascinating how we can get those principles into practice, into application. And this is one of the major problems, Jacob. You know as well as I do, one of the major problems is we've got everything in theory.
Yeah.
But we're not using it, we're not living it, we're not doing it.
Absolutely.
And that's the golden part.
Yeah.
When we are living what we understand from the neuroscience.
And you have done, Rachel, you have done a great deal, and you've of that practicality, you know, proven into the many courses and the books you've written. So to that, I do have to say, you know, really congratulations first. And we do feel, because you know, when we say Rachel, a neuroscientist, and then sometimes you do stop us, and I wonder why.
You know, I really think for me, the passion is about helping others to do this, helping others to understand the brain and help the learners to understand the brain, understand themselves. You know, the more that we understand ourselves, the more that we can help others to understand themselves. Right. And we're living a period of time where I do think it's about managing ourselves a lot through this crisis, through whatever is happening outside, and as teachers and educators, how to help others to come through, and to come through learning, to come through with vision, with curiosity, with, you know, that yes, we're going to do this, and yes, I've got a goal in life. It might be the first goal of many goals, and understanding that, you know, lifelong we can keep going back to learn, as I keep doing at my age.
Oh, you do, and really like a role model for us all.
And I haven't seen it.
It's hard to keep up with you, Rachel, and you know that.
It's hard for me to keep up with me.
Sorry?
It's hard for me to keep up with myself as well.
I know. No, we can see that. So good luck for the rest of us. Carla is here with us again, asking, how do you think neuroscience will change education in the future?
Carla, thank you for that. I do think, you know, that it already has changed. Since the 1990s, we have the concept of Neuro Education, the NeuroHeart Foundation that created this concept, and we have a lot of neuro educators worldwide. We really do. We have a lot of teachers who are bringing in the neuroscience, but I don't think it's enough. And I don't think many educators understand how to integrate the principles of neuroscience. And that's what we're doing. We're definitely, with the coaching, with the neuroscience, training teachers worldwide to understand what they can do to manifest all of those principles in the neuroscience and make the whole process brain friendly.
Yeah.
Dynamic. It really changes the dynamic. We have to change patterns of communication. We have to change the structure of how we deliver. We have to change how we deal with outcomes and results. There's a lot of things, and little by little we are in practice, and many of you as educators are already doing this, many intuitively. It's really quite interesting that teachers worldwide intuitively are adapting and changing. And I think, Carla, in the future, there'll be even more of this. There'll be more, and the research continues. You know, we still have so much to learn about the brain. And the part that fascinates me the most is the subconscious brain, and what we can tap into and how the subconscious brain learns.
Absolutely. Really. I'm always interested whenever you mention practicality, Rachel, because I remember from the courses we've done with you, whenever you say go back and try that out, And I think around the world, yes, Neuro Education is coming out, but lack we do lack courses and methods that really bring into that practical side. And I have to say that neuro language coaching, depends heavily on practicality, and this is what makes it really unique. So
Absolutely.
yeah, forever, we are forever grateful to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, my heartfelt desire is that we are living this. And, you know, there is a difference between life coaching. There's even a difference with language coaching and neurolanguage coaching. Neurolanguage coaching is a concept on its own.
Yeah.
And the more that we can bring that sort of feeling of how to live what we are understanding, the more we're going to change the learning process. And now we're going to bring that into the NeuroHeart education. So we're taking Neuro Education one step further from Neuro Education into NeuroHeart education.
That's beautiful. I think we all can't wait to take yet another further step. So absolutely looking forward.
Yeah. And just to say, you know, this August, I am going to be doing an update with all the neurolanguage coaches of new principles from the neuroscience, which I'm going to be integrating into the courses, and especially the neuroscience of words, the impact that words have on the brain, and how words can actually physiologically change, chemicals that are produced, whether you it's fascinating. It really is. And a lot of, for me now, it's the interesting thing of the way that we ask questions, whether we are tapping into the task priority network or the default mode network. So yes, we have gripping updates this summer about what we're doing in the language coaching course.
Oh, by all means, yeah. Now you've got us. We fallen into that. We can call it trap, but yeah, curiosity again.
Curiosity brain. Gotcha.
Get hooked up again. So yeah, absolutely. Reno here saying hi, and then learning is a lifelong process. That's right. We all keep on going for it. And then Reno again. I guess that masses are not too aware of how neuroscience can help in education. Developmental neuroscience can be really beneficial. We need to find more about it.
Absolutely.
We've got Rachel on neurolanguagecoaching.com. NeuroHeart Education, yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, there are many others. I would also say to tap into the Dana Foundation. Dana Foundation has a list of collaborators and other with. We also know the Goldie Hawn Foundation. They spoke at one of our conferences a few years ago in Edinburgh. I know that you were there, Jacob.
Yeah.
They're called Mind Up. And they are teachers to train children about the brain as well. And, you know, how amazing it would be if we really got to train and teach children from very young ages how to manage themselves, how to manage emotions, when we're angry or when we get nervous or when we're afraid. And you know that the Mind Up Foundation, they play with puppets and they show children, you know, the amygdala is going into overdrive.
Right.
Yeah. And that's just phenomenal if you can help children. And may I say now, in the pandemic, I do think we need to be helping children to understand what happens when we go into fear, when we are, you know, not when we're stressed, etc., and how we can manage ourselves.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these not quite challenging times, aren't they?
They are. They are. But I think everybody is doing exceptionally
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Teachers especially are not being recognised enough for what they've done and what they are doing.
Not the first time. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But there shall come a time. Shall come a time. Right. I think. Well, here's an interesting question. Carla again. Thank you, Carla. Please keep them coming. Being active today. What first steps can we take as parents and educators to live what we know from the research?
I think there's a lot of question about brain-friendly curricular design. That's to think about. There is a lot of, I think, a lot of brainstorming of how to change processes, delivery in classrooms. About looking at how to, if you're with larger groups of children in classrooms, how to break them up into smaller groups, how to bring in different diverse activities that all children can be trying out and playing with and doing. And I think it's about just us keeping up to date with the research and then thinking afterwards, okay, this is the research, this is the outcome, how can I use it? What can I do? So I think it's about creatively thinking. You know, one of the greatest principles is to break things down. So if we are in a classroom with material, how do we break it down? What can we do to break it down? And it needs us to have that thought first to then be able to bring it to our learners in those broken down chunks. Things like that. It is for us to brainstorm it and then manifest. And it might be that teachers have to come together to brainstorm it. It might be that they have to go to the research and then understand from other sort of books and materials. There's a lot of books now called brain-based teaching, brain-based learning. There is one which is the science of learning. Some great tips in there about the classroom as well. So there's a lot of pointers now of how to live this. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. I hope that's answered your question, Carla. You can always write again, reach out anytime. Rachel, the 1,000 coaches, Neurolanguage coaches. I'll leave it at that. I'll give you the mic.
We are steaming towards the 1,000th Neurolanguage coach in the world. And for me, it's a phenomenal dream that we are steaming towards the first 1,000th. Yeah, it's amazing. And, you know, more and more people coming in. We've got 20 teacher trainers worldwide who are now delivering in different languages. So we're reaching other countries, other languages, other audiences. We're also in September going to be starting with the NeuroHeart educational coaches. So yes, it's a step by step, little by little. And I'm just very grateful to all the people who have taken the jump and come onto the course and really gone through that transition. It's a transformational course, it really is. You know, it's not only the integration of the neuroscience, it's also the bringing out that coaching approach and living it, as we said. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know all about that, so I do agree with all that. The conference, will there be a chance to see you face to face next year? Is it next year? Next year, yeah.
Next year, yes, 2022.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we will be, whether it's online or face to face, we will be holding the 6th NeuroHeart Education conference in Sitges in Spain. With a bit of luck, we will be able to be together face to face. And if not, we will be online as we were this year. And you know, Jacob, there's this conference, the passion that I have with this conference is about bringing together all different walks of life that can help and enhance education. And we've had speakers from neuroscience, neuro education, neuropsychology. We've had speakers from emotional intelligence. We've even had speakers from coaching, from heart science, from heart leadership, from even a couple of years ago, we had a hypnotist. It was obviously unusual, but the question for all of us is, what can we do to make education change and be enhanced and be better and strive to be more effective in what we're doing? And I think this is our passion as educators, that we want to be more effective and get learners to learn instantly. How can we do that?
Yeah, it's no, the conference is quite unique, and the whole mix of all different trades in its own way is quite unique. I don't think you can find many or if any conferences like that. So thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll have to say,
unique conference, it really is.
It absolutely is. Reno here says thanks. Enjoyed the conversation. Appreciate Jacob, Rachel. Thank you, Reno, as always. And here's another. Love your
thank you. Yes.
That's nice.
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see underneath. I've got the cross and the heart.
But
so I'm out on all the front. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Reno. Rachel, I think that's it for us today. But before you go, one last word.
From you or from me?
Oh, from you. From you, please.
For me, honestly, I think the last is always the first is always the last. So hopefully it's not the last word. Hopefully it's the first of many. Just to say thank you. And I know that Beatrix is absolutely passionate about coaching and education as well. So I do want to say, Beatrix, fantastic. Jacob, I know you are as well, passionate about coaching and education. And what we're all doing in some ways is bringing education into the 21st century. And we know technology, everything has moved at lightning speed over the last 10 years, whereas education hasn't. And I do think that change, the more that we're going to change the systems.
Yeah.
That's my strongest belief and desire.
Yeah.
Jacob, that was, what's your final word?
We should definitely have you back on again in the show.
I would love to. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely been a pleasure. As always, Rachel. I've known you for years now, and you know,
Yes.
But absolutely a pleasure. Every time you always come, you know, with this endless positive energy. You just, you know, roam the world and spread all that love and knowledge, and you know, just it's just Rachel. There's only one Rachel, one and only. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure having you. And no, I do mean it. We should have you again, please. Such an honor. And yeah, that's it. So that's all from us for now. Thank you very much. The audience, thank you for watching, and those who are going to watch it later. So Bye bye for now. Bye.